7. The Bassmaster Elite Fishing Series is coming to Chickamauga Lake in June. Bass Fest it combines a tournament and festival for fans. In the tournament, the top 20 anglers from each of the 3 open series will be invited, and Dayton hosts the event June 11th through the 15th. And our good friend Pat Rose will take us Set to Hook radio show live to Bass Fest on Saturday the 14th with us here live and in person.
Man, what's going on, Patrick? Can't see you in a while, buddy.
This is going to be a big deal, isn't it?
You know what? I'm sitting here going over the Bassmaster.com website. Bass University is going to be there as well. That is a teaching deal. They're going to be talking about don't overlook prop baits, early in the morning prop baits, how to take a novice fishing. Right? Fishing deep structure. Deep structure is what's happening now. You know, we were talking earlier, and let's talk about the fishing first, okay? Because
yeah.
I got you all screwed up now.
No, that's fine. Go
But
ahead.
we were talking earlier, and we're catching fish on ledges now. And it's almost June, and they're just now coming to ledges.
Late this year, isn't it?
It is totally late. They're catching crappie on, like my buddy Jake Davis says, minnows. And they're catching shell cracker on what?
Crickets.
You dadgum right,
You can't beat a cricket. And normally it's the full moon in May, but it's a little bit later this year. So I think there'll be good, brim fishing and shell cracker fishing all the way through the 1st of June.
You're right. Now let's go back to Bass Fest, June 11th through the 15th. It's a step below the Bassmasters Classic. So you're going to have your Nitro, your Bass Pro Shops. Just booths all over the place. Big D will be working the power pole booth, the whole deal. But guess what? Set the Hook with Pat Rose will be live June 14th, 11 to 12, special time on ESPN 105.1 The Zone. What about it?
Yeah, that's going to be great. And we're going to have some of the best fishermen in the country.
The who's who of bass.
Yeah.
Plus, like you said, they're getting the top 20 in all the opens to get into this tournament, man. So we're going to have a full lake. They're going to catch some big bass. And what did I tell you?
The crawfish jig.
Oh, the jig.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that, the whole deal.
So do you think that will be a go-to bait come this June?
You know, now that they can't use the Alabama rig, that's what's going to catch the fish. That's what's going to catch the fish. And Raji Brown, fisherman from Chickamauga, been wearing out that Alabama rig. 8 hours, 49 pounds. What the heck?
I got a question for you. How much of an advantage would a local fisherman have in this tournament?
If Raji Brown got in it, he could win it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, he could win it. He knows the lake. He knows the ins and out of our lake. You know what I mean?
Will there be any other type of baits when you come into the month of June that are go-to baits when it comes to maybe nickajack or maybe Chickamauga?
You're right, and since it's so far back, it's so pushed back, the spawn, they're going to be chasing. They're going to be chasing spinner baits, swim baits, jigs, anything. One thing I do want to say is early morning, get that prop bait out, get that buzz bait out, because they'll hit it, man.
So you want irritants.
Oh, yeah.
You want something to irritate the fish.
And I always say a wiggle when you say action. Yeah, we need the action, man. We need the action.
So we're late on the slow worm type. That's going to be later on. So now we're still trying to get them, to react to something.
When it gets hot, they get sluggish. Go to that big 10-inch worm, black and blue Berkeley worm, man. You can't beat that. You cannot beat a Berkeley worm.
But still through the month of June, since everything's running a little late, you may score with that.
Throw that all the time.
Yeah.
Throw that all the time. That's not a seasonal bait, man. Remember what we said earlier? We'll be talking about this through the whole deal. If we're here 2 years from now, we're going to be talking about a jig.
Yeah. Once again, big Bass Classic coming up in June. We'll have more on that. Bass Fest. And Pat, you're going to have a busy month.
Man, I am fired up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming and giving us some time.
Appreciate it.
Set the Hook with Pat Rose. Listen, as we'll have more on Prime News at 7, so stay with us.